Hey, so you're curious about role-based access control, or RBAC, right? It is a pretty cool and secure system used in Azure for managing access to resources. Let's dive right into it, why don't we? Imagine you are managing a vast digital space, like the clouds. In Azure, everything is resources and services. Access permissions are crucial to prevent unwanted access and to ensure things go smoothly. That's where RBAC steps in. It's like having a well-defined guest list and knowing who gets to mingle with whom, but at a tech party. So, RBAC allows management of what permissions users have. You know, it's not just about letting someone into every room of your house, it's about giving them a key to the right few rooms where they need to be and nothing more. When users, your employees, contractors, maybe even third-party integrators log into your Azure account, RBAC makes sure they only interact with parts of the system that they're supposed to, as if you are teaching them a very specialized skill. Setting up RBAC can be as simple or as detailed as you'd like, but let's keep it practical. You start with defining roles, which are specific access permissions. For the real basics, Microsoft provides templates for common roles like contributor, which is like granting someone a golden ticket to manage almost everything, minus the ability to create new tickets. There's also reader, who can peek into the box but can't touch anything inside it. Depending on their job needs, you can also create roles customized for certain tasks. Once roles are defined, you assign them to users, groups, or service principals, which are sorta like special accounts dedicated to certain tasks or processes. Azure ensures users don't have more trust than necessary by using these roles. It's like how you'd assign tasks to a team. The project manager wouldn't need access to the finance department, right? Scoping is another biggie. In RBAC, a scope is like the geographical area your policies cover. Think of it as the physical office that your RBAC rules apply to. You decide whether it'll be a subscription, a resource group, or a single resource within a group. Now, the funny thing is these roles can get very technical, right within these bounds. A user can be part of several roles, but only the sum of their granted permissions will dictate their power. This means you can give someone the power to manage the dev team's lab but still give access to the admin to manage subscription-level decisions. It's all about granularity. Imagine a user, Sarah, in your IT department, needs to manage applications but not the underlying infrastructure. You would first create a role with a limited set of features, maybe Azure Solutions Architect application, and then you'd hand it to Sarah, making sure she could manage apps in the specific scope you've assigned, perhaps just her development lab under resource group dev team. Best practices here include regularly reviewing roles and rights because, like life, roles in Azure need to evolve with changing job requirements. You'll want to ensure access reviews happen like clockwork, regularly auditing for any anomalies. Sometimes, it can be wise to have least privilege users, meaning they only get the bare minimum needed for their role, and nothing more, which is kind of risky, but it also forces users to ask for access when they need it, rather than having excess privileges that might not be needed. With all this talk of roles and restrictions, the conversation can't end here because Azure has a beautiful way to track all these permissions. Using Azure Key Identifier, or AKI, it's like having a unique hand receipt for permissions, ensuring no mix-ups in who did what, where, and when. It's that transparency in the digital realm that helps keep things secure. You should also embrace Azure RBAC in policy-based access control, where you can automate permissions for groups of users or services without constantly handcrafting individual access rules. It's scalable and saves on your mental load. I'm not going to dive into deep technicalities of the actual RBAC setup here, like using Azure CLI or PowerShell or Azure Portal, because I believe it's best to take the hands-on route for that. However, I would direct you for further exploration to Microsoft's official documentation. That's a treasure trove of knowledge and guidance, especially for anyone with hands-on Azure experience. Now, remember all that info I just tossed at you. I think it's fantastic, but it's kinda a lot to take in. Here's where I'll help walk you through each piece step by step, give detailed examples from the real world, and maybe even show you how to set it up your own way. And now, to wrap this all up in an actionable note, if you are on this journey to secure and organize Azure access via RBAC, don't hesitate to drop me a message, and I will assist you with any questions or problems right here. Oh, and here's a small favor, visit neeraj.com and subscribe to TechLab, where we talk tricks like RBAC every day. See you next time.